awakening's sort of like, it's a tough process, but like I never got scared off the information.
No, I wanted more. I had hunger for the truth, you know.
Yeah. And it was like, even like when I found out, started getting right into the satanic ritual abuse stuff and fucking all that sick shit. It wasn't like, I was like, fuck, man, geez, that's crazy. I wasn't like, you know, it wasn't a breakdown for me. I was like, I already know this shit. I want to know more. And I was, even with that stuff, people go, oh, you're sick. Like, why do you want to look at that stuff? Like, I used to get that all the time. Like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, no, I want to know what evil is. I want to know what's the genesis of this evil. And I think it's such a core thing to understand, particularly like satanic ritual abuse, but even like the core central force that is behind satanic ritual abuse, because they don't do that for shits and giggles. It's a technology. They're doing it to conjure certain beings, and also and even the beings that they're conjuring, they're still slaves as well. I want to know what's the fucking central force that's doing that, and I don't think there can be real change until people truly know what evil is. And there's a great clip I used to share this like every year, and it's David Icke talking about George Bush Sr., and he's spent a lot of time with certain people that George Bush Sr. abused, like Kelly O'Brien and like Paul Benocchi and stuff like this, that were abused in the Franklin credit scandal. And he talks about the nature in which George Bush would abuse the kids. And he talked about like how he would put cocaine on his dick so he would, you know, be able to last longer, so he could cause the maximum pain to the child, and certain electromagnetic techniques they would use, and cattle prongs, and just brutal child abuse and child rape. And he talks about, and the reason he says it, he's like, now, 9/11, killing 3,000 people, and so what? They don't give a fuck. Because once you know that they can do that to a child, then everything makes sense. It's like, because people still have this idea that governments or certain people actually care about you, but I'm just like, no, they fucking rape kids, and not just rape, but like brutal rape. So
that's what I've always said.
Once you understand that evil, once you know that evil, everything starts making sense, and then. And the thing is, that evil only exists because true love exists as well, and it sort of has to be there to counteract that. And it's the greatest learning tool ever. You know, they're teachers, these Satanists, at the core level, but unfortunately we've just ignored it for so long. But you know, people are seeing it now, and I never thought I'd see satanic ritual abuse be spoken about as widely and openly as it is now. Like, that was just such a taboo subject, you know. Even like weather manipulation, all these things they're starting to come out, as bad as it is, you know. And you would know if you've been awake for a long time too. It's like, it is frustrating that people can't see it now, because it's like, it's so fucking obvious. But you know, like 10 years ago, man, you couldn't talk about any of this shit.